You want answers?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
You want answers?
You have offended my family.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.
And you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
You can't handle the truth.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Radical Rant.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, you corpulent waste of human flesh. Going through the headlines today, and I come upon this one from NewJersey.com. Christie said he's, quote, not inclined to allow, end quote, children in the New Jersey medical marijuana program. Now, that first caught my attention. The other thing that caught my attention is the father in this next case goes by the name of Brian Wilson. Kind of just made me perk up. So I'm looking at this story, and this is the thing that's frustrating about this is New Jersey's medical marijuana law, as signed by outgoing Governor Corzine, and which is law, the law the governor is supposed to follow, right? The medical marijuana law is open to minors. It's not like he gets to decide whether or not it's open to minors, but in a sense he does. Check this out. His quote was that he's not inclined to allow children to participate. He says, now the case is the case of Vivian Wilson, little girl, 2-year-old child with a severe and rare form of epilepsy called Dravet syndrome. Or maybe it's Dravet, maybe it's French, I'm not sure, but she's got this rare form of epilepsy. She received a medical marijuana identification card from the state health department in February. But her parents, Brian and Megan Wilson of Scotch Plains, have been unable to find a psychiatrist to support her enrollment in the program. What? A psychiatrist? What you're saying? Yes, that's because New Jersey's law requires the approval of a pediatrician and a psychiatrist and the child's prescribing physician, who must register on the state of New Jersey's doctor registry before the family can purchase the drug on the child's behalf. Remember, they can't grow their own. They can go to the one dispensary in the state to get this medicine that will help their 2-year-old daughter not have seizures. This is what Christie said in response to this situation, because they are trying to, if I remember the story right, they're trying to go around it here. They're trying to ask the governor directly about this. The Wilsons are asking lawmakers to make an exception for their daughter and other seriously ill children who cannot be helped with traditional medication. This is what Christie had to say to that. Quote, I have the health commissioner looking at that particular situation and making recommendations to me. But I'll tell you, I've said this all along and I'll say it again. I want New Jersey to be a compassionate state. And for people who this is your only option to get pain relief, for those who are terminally ill or chronically ill, we've authorized it. But I am not going to allow New Jersey to become a California or Colorado where someone can fake a headache and get a bag of pot on every corner. So I'm very concerned if we go down this slope of allowing minors to use this, where it ends. So I'll have the health commissioner look at it, report back to me, but I don't want to mislead people either. I'm not inclined to allow them to have it. End quote. Christie, you turd. We're talking about a 2-year-old child with epilepsy. And you're going to bring out a slippery slope argument that kids might be able to go to, teenagers might be able to go to any corner and pick up a bag of pot after faking a headache. Well, guess what? Guess what? In every city in New Jersey, teenagers can go to the corner and get a bag of pot, and they don't even have to fake a headache. It's called the illegal market that is never going to go away. And nothing about giving a 2-year-old with a rare form of epilepsy the ability to go to one of your state dispensaries that only stocks 3 different strains that must be below 10% THC is going to do a damn thing about whether or not teenagers end up getting weed on the corner in Newark. Governor Christie, you repugnant, execrable piece of crap. This just boils me because, of course, you know, Brave Michaela is near and dear to us. 7-year-old girl right here in Oregon. Alex Eccles, very near and dear to us. Cashy Hyde, very near and dear to us. Even going back to Danny Grinspoon, you know, Lester Grinspoon's boy. This is insane. And this is why I keep struggling with having to deal with this medicalization of marijuana, this why we're using it. Because no matter how you try to craft it, somebody gets left out like this. And now it's a 2-year-old girl in a state that allows minors to have it, in a state where the legislature said, you know, this is a good medicine for some people. And my God, if a kid is sick, let's let him have it. But because you put the hoop so high, 3 different doctors, thank God these people have some means to be able to afford going to 3 different doctors, a pediatrician, a psychiatrist, and their own physician. And how many pediatricians did they have to go through before they could find one who'd sign? And how many psychiatrists have they gone through? How much of this time has it taken? And how much has their little 2-year-old girl suffered because they can't jump through these hoops? Now, the Wilsons say, according to this NewJersey.com story, that prescription medications, a strict diet, and use of an eye patch during waking hours, the little girl looks like a pirate, for God's sake, have helped reduce the frequency and severity of Vivian's seizures, but she is still at significant health risks and her development is delayed, her parents say. They say they are anxious to obtain an edible form of marijuana high in cannabidiols, or CBD, but low in psychoactive properties, or what gives people that high feeling. One strain, Charlotte's Web, is helping 19 children and young adults with serious forms of epilepsy in Colorado. The father, Brian Wilson, said, quote, "Children's lives are being saved in Colorado and California. If Christie is against that, then what is he advocating? Death? Brain damage?" End quote. Governor Christie, this 2-year-old suffering is on you. You can do something about this. It's legal. You can show that you really do want New Jersey to be a compassionate state and move on this case. Letting 2-year-old Vivian relieve her epilepsy with CBD that doesn't even get her high is not going to affect whatsoever the fight against marijuana in the cities, or whatever you want to call it, drug-free New Jersey, whatever the hell. And again, cases like this just make me struggle with the medicalization when I see kids not being able to get on a program who clearly qualify, when I see the last 8 states that have passed now have no home grow, when Illinois won't even recognize chronic pain for people. We got to push real hard, and I'm specifically talking to us out west here. 2014, the whole West Coast needs to be legalized. If we don't establish the right of people to use marijuana for whatever reason they want, then the pendulum's going to swing back hard in 2016, people. And it's going to get worse in 2020 when cannabinoid pharmaceuticals come through the trials, start getting paid for by insurance, and these East Coast states start replacing their dispensary programs with marijuana cannabinoid pharmaceutical pharmacies. Wow. All right, that's all the time we got here. For Brian the Red, I'm Radical Russ. Join us in hour 2. You got all sorts of new stuff in the shop to talk about and our upcoming schedule. And until next time, take care of each other, tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down.